trust we are all good, and it's another day. Yeah. Okay. This is a continuation of our previous class. Just 103 computer fundamentals. Let me just quickly share. Awesome. The link has been shared. So let's just let's just go ahead with the class tonight. So in our previous class, we said something about computer program. We said something about language translators. We talked about the assemblers and the likes. So tonight, we were supposed to treat, you know, the class before that particular class. We treated hardware, computer hardware, and software, and it was supposed to be a continuation of hardware components. Excuse me, which is what we're treating tonight. We actually skip that part. So we're taking it tonight. Tonight class is going to be a stretch. We are going to be taking it from Unit 2, page 59 of Unit 2. And the course is GST 103, Computer Fundamentals. So with this being said, let's hop straight into it. So we have computer hardware components. We have peripheral devices, table of contents. We have the input devices. We have the computer keyboard. Now, we're talking about hardware. Oh, Miss Justina, it's great to have you join us tonight. Awesome. So the topic we are taking today, it's supposed to be the previous one, the previous topic we had to take, but we skipped it. So we are taking it tonight. So and the topic is basically about computer hardware components. We have the peripheral devices, and these devices are table of these devices are input devices, and we have the computer keyboard, we have mouse and joystick, we have digital or graphical tablets, we have the optical character reader, that's the OCR, we have the magnetic ink character reader, as the MICR. So we have introduction. The computer peripheral devices are those devices which are attached to the system unit. Let's not forget we said something about in our previous class, we said something about the system unit that it shouldn't be mistaken for the central processing unit. The system unit is basically our computer. We have the CPU and other parts of the system unit that makes up the system unit to make the computer functions well. So uh, the devices are necessary to ensure that the computer is able to accept and input and display the results for the users. Now we have this section, therefore, will discuss the input and the input unit and the output unit of computer. So we have objective. Now students will be exposed to component that makes up the input unit. We're talking about component that makes up the input unit and the output unit. We'll also be talking about how we can get grasp of the function of the input and the output unit. We're also going to be talking about a guide on how to use the input and the output unit in a particular way or environment. So we have first on our list tonight is the input unit, and under the input unit, what we are talking about will be computer keyboard. Now, a computer keyboard is identical to the conventional typewriter keyboard. I believe majority of us know what a typewriter is. This is what was in vogue before the invent of computer and the likes. I mean, typing, typewriter. When I was pretty much younger then, my mom she worked as secretary to an army general, and she does a lot of typing with the typewriter. Thank God for computer these days. I mean, I can't imagine us still having typewriters like that. I mean, it's crazy, but it's kind of interesting too as well. You have to see the ink, you have to wait and do. I mean, thank God for computers these days. So now the keyboard is just basically like Orizosina said yes also. So it's basically like Miss Johnson, I think you can relate with that with the typewriter of a thing. Do you know how to use the typewriter as well? Have you used one before too as well? Because I used it then. I used it a lot then in assisting with some things. So we have that now. Computer keyboard can be a dummy type of intelligence or intelligent type. Now, a computer keyboard is considered to be intelligent if, in addition to, I think I need to scroll up a bit. Okay, I think. Oh, Miss Justina said yes. Okay, that's awesome. So I believe using the keyboard would not be that difficult then. So we have, as I was saying now, performing the routine function characteristics of a typewriter keyboard. Now it can initiate a series of action for a computer to carry out by mere pressing a key or combination of two of keys. Now we have an intelligent computer keyboard is a set of keys, and when one of them is pressed, the computer can be made to carry out a specific function. For example, so we're talking about the intelligence keyboard now, whereby it's a set of keyboard that when you press it, it gives your computer instruction and it carries it out. Now, for example, the pressing of a key may cause the computer to display a menu list from which a computer being may list which a human being may be prompted to select one. Now, the intelligence computer keyboard has four major divisions, namely function keys. Talking about the keyboard now, we have has basically like four major divisions, namely function keys, numeric keys, and control keys. Please let's take note of this. Intelligent computer keyboard has four major divisions, and they are the function keys, the alphanumeric keys, the numeric keys, and the control. All these will be dissected as we continue in the class. Now, in addition to the four types of keys, there are some special or important keys such as the following. Apart from these four major divisions, now we have some other important keys which are return or enter key. Enter key is also very important. This you use it a lot to start a new paragraph, to send, to search. I mean, we have the escape key. Maybe you are somewhere, you just need to get out of where you are. Escape key, which is denoted with ESC, is usually on the top left corner of your keyboard. Like my system now, I have it on the top. I think I think I can adjust my camera a bit so you can see it. I think I can adjust this a bit. It's yeah. I think oh my goodness. Okay. Yep. I think it's yeah. I believe we can see it. Yeah, it's here now. Escape key. So it's there. Okay. So it's usually on the top left hand corner of your keyboard. That's the escape key. We have the control key, which is CTRL. Yeah, I think the control key is here. The control key. This is the control key. This is the key escape key. That's the control key. We have the alternate. These are alternate key. I believe we can all see that. And we have the delete key. So this is delete key. I think I should on. So, yeah. So this is the delete key. This is the enter key. This is the control key. As you can see, it's written CTRL. This is the alternate. As you can see, that key is here, and this is the escape key. Which is here. I believe all that can be clearly seen. So I think I might just have to reduce this light. Yeah, I believe that's all. Yeah, I believe these are all the keys. Okay, we have INS. Okay, we have backspace key. Let me on the light. So this is the backspace key here. That so I beg your pardon. This is the backspace key. As you can see, it is written here, backspace. We have the shift key. This is the shift key. So we have those are the keys, and I believe we are good to go. So I'm just gonna adjust my camera a bit. Yep. So I think we're good. Yeah, I think that explains it. It's a bit hot in here. Excuse my handkerchief. Miss Justina, I hope you saw the key. Okay. Oh, awesome. Yeah. I think you are acquainted with the keys. Miss Justina says she knows. I think you are acquainted with the key. use the system a lot, so that should not be something new to you. So we have, having gone through the keys, then we have function keys. Now, talking about function keys now, speaking of the four, speaking of the four divisions, now we're talking about, we said for the four divisions, we have function keys, we have alphanumeric keys, we have numeric keys, control keys. So now, speaking of the function key, now the effect of the function keys are software package dependent. That is, they mean different translations depending on which software package one is running on a computer. Let's not forget, we discussed about softwares are programs that are designed for specific purpose on your system. Now, this software now, speaking about the function key, the function key are responsible for software packages. Every software has its own function key. And now to continue, we have the function keys are traditionally labeled. I believe you all know them as well. I think I okay. My keyboard doesn't specify. This is a PC actually. Not PC don't usually. My own kind of PC does not usually display the function keys. Although I have substituted them, but with the regular keyboard, the basic QRT keyboard kind of thing, like the one I use in the office. It has all these F1, F2, F3, but on my system they are not displayed. So they are traditionally labeled as F1, F2, F3, any F key. They are all called function keys, and they have their specific functions. Now the function key are often arranged to the left of the main keyboard in two columns, or they are arranged in a row above the main keyboard. That's more of the external keyboard. So we have, in most software packages, the function key F1 is used to run help program. So let's take note of that. F1 in most software packages, meaning that there are some software packages that F1 will not run help function, to run a different function entirely. So as it is said here, in most software packages, the key F1 runs the help program. Help in the sense that if you are lost or you don't know how to navigate your way through about a program or in a software, in a software package, when you use the F key, it gives you help, it aids your navigation. Now, WordPerfect, for example, uses F3 for help. Let's take note of that. WordPerfect, for example, uses F3 for help program, and F1 can cancel the last command issue on the computer. Now the F7 and F12 are used to save a text and block a section of a text respectively. Function keys can be arranged to carry out the functions desired by a programmer. For example, the function keys F10 may be programmed to display menus. Very well. Now, thus, the operation of the function keys can be determined by the users or programmed by the software package being used at any point in time. Now, speaking about the alphanumeric keys can be likened with the conventional typewriter's key. Now, they contain alphabetic characters, numeric characters, and special characters such as comma, full stop, open bracket, close bracket, asterisk, semicolon, colon, question mark, and so on. Usually, each key carries a character at the lower part and another character at the upper part. I think we should be able to. Yep. So we have them here. So as you can see here, is an example of them. There's a key on the upper part and there's a key on the lower part. There's a key on the upper part, there's a key on the lower part. These are alphanumeric keys. So we have that as that. So then we move forward. So we have that as that. So those are for the alphanumeric keys. Usually, okay, I spoke about that. Now the shift key is used to switch on or off the lower and upper characters. So these are just alphanumeric keys. So we have cursor control keys. The cursor control mark the the affect or current spot of a screen. Cursor control key marks the active or current spot on the screen. It is an indicator that tells the user where in the midst of a document the system is pointing to. Now, it may be a rectangular bar or light or a blinking underscore. When a text is being typed, the cursor moves as the carriage on a keyboard moves and characters are typed in. Now the cursor control key indicates for now basically when you are typing on your computer, there's this line, more of the line that you see on your computer. As you type, it moves forward. As you type, it keeps moving with your, it keeps moving and it keeps moving with your with what you are typing. So that's basically what the cursor keys you are used to. If you have not used your computer before, for example, if you are typing anything on your computer or you are using the keyboard, when you type, it show. The moment you are even about to type, you understand, it shows and it moves and you identify it. So that's that. So we have okay, so we have numeric keypad. So now the numeric keypad contains a set of keys required for typing or entering number digits. Numbers like 0, 1, 2 to 9 into a computer store. A numeric key is often activated by pressing the num lock key, number lock key. Now the numeric keypad is also used in combination with that's the alternate. And I showed also something about the alternate. The alternate key that is represented by ALT now to produce extended character. Now extended character are character not normally found on most keyboard. For example, to produce the character alpha data denotes, one holds down the alternate key and press 224. Alternate key and some numeric keys perform special functions. So we have that as that. So we have the shift key. When the shift key is basically for you to just when the shift key is pressed, the capital letter or the alphanumeric key are activated. Also serves as activator of character that are in uppercase, part of each alphanumeric key. Now the shift key has a effect on its own. Its effects are realized when some other keys are pressed. Thus, in one presser, the shift key and then equal sign key, then plus sign key, which at the upper part of the equal sign is an activated and then it appears on the screen. Now, basically, the shift key is more of when you want to give space to something, or when you want to move in between, you want to move your letters in between your typing. Now we have the caps lock key. Caps lock key is basically for blocks actually, when you want to change a small letter to a capital letter. Sorry, sir. Is it control key or cursor key? Okay, control. I'm not sure I understand what you mean by control. But okay, let me explain this. Have you ever heard of move your cursor here when you are using your computer? Your cursor actually tells you where. For example, now you want to type something on your computer. Where your cursor is, that is where what you want to type will appear. So your cursor is basically pointing at where you are on your computer. So it's not the control key. It's not the control key. Control is different from cursor. Cursor basically helps you navigate through on your screen, on your computer screen. So just now don't mix it up. Okay, so we have that. So we have the caps lock key that helps you capitalize or change letters into blocks, capital letter. Now we have the alternate key. It can be used just like as I explained earlier, combination of numeric keys to generate characters. Excuse me. So we have the number lock. Number lock key activates. Okay, control key. Okay. I think she said. I think she understands now. Okay, I think she understands now. So we good then. So we have control key is different from cursor. Don't mix it up, please. I think we are going to get to control key very soon. Now we've talked about number lock. Number lock key activates the numeric keypad. Yeah, keypad. Neither number or cap lock affect the functions key. Now we have control key. Now this is control key. Control key is often used in most text mode to perform block operations like mass deletion, insertion, and so on. For example, Control Y deletes a line. Are you getting this, Miss Justina? Control key is often used in most text mode to perform block operations, perform a group of operations. Control key is quite different from cursor. Just like, for example, now I say use Control S. Control S is basically auto save. When you are typing something, I said, okay, use Control S. You know that when you use Control S, it automatically saves. When I say use Control A is automatically copy everything on your file. Use Control C. Control A definitely will mark all the text on the file. And usually use Control A when you want to copy everything on your file. When you Control A now, instead of you to use your cursor to grab all the text on the screen, you can just use, in case of you are typing, you understand, or you just want to copy something from a website. I don't usually use Control on the website because Control will pack even what it not ask it to pack. So I basically use Control A when I'm typing. So when you are typing a document and you just want to copy everything on that document, you just want to crop everything on that document, you use Control A and use Control C to copy. Then you can paste. So Control key is quite different from, okay, Miss Perky is just joining us tonight. Perky, it's great to have you, although you came a bit late. So Miss Justina, I hope that is well understood. So we have that as that. Control key is basically used to perform block operations like mass deletion, insertion, and so on. Okay, we have that as that. So escape key, escape key cancels or an operation in progress. For example, when one is editing a file or issuing a command, ESC, which is the escape key, cancels any changes one might have made or determine the command. From the name escape, it also does some deletion, but basically it's just you trying to undo what you have done on your system. Now return or enter key. Now return key serves as one of the most important key on most keyboards. It is actually used to inform the computer and end of input or command. Now, it performs two functions depending on the program with which it is used. For example, suppose you are asked to respond to an operating system command at the prompt of other entries. The operating system will wait until the return key is pressed before continuing. Now, pressing the return key also positions the cursor at the beginning of it. Now, the return key can also be referred to as the enter key. I don't know whether we get that. The return key can also be referred as enter key. And it is basically, for example, if you are on a site, if you're like, for example, let's take Google or Chrome, for example. If you are using your enter key in this context, is different. When you type something on a search column, you click on enter key, it automatically gives a prompt to the browser that you are done typing, that you can now search out, give me the results of this thing I'm typing. But when you are Miss Chooks just joined us tonight, though you came a bit late. This is about 24 minutes past, but it's all good. It's great to have you. So return key or enter key in this context now, when you are typing and you click on enter key, it automatically breaks the page and takes you to a new paragraph. So enter key is always giving prompts. I don't know if we get that. So we have that as that. Now, we have inside, we say it said pressing the enter. Okay, so I just came back from work. Oh, you're welcome. So sorry you came here, but nevertheless, you can still always go back and rewatch the class. You can still always go back and go through what we've talked about. Just we haven't gone so far. Just just pay attention as we move. We are talking about different different keys of the computer. Talking about the peripherals. So we've talking about the escape key. Now we're on the turn key now. The insert key. Pressing the insert key puts one's keyboard in the insert mode. Pressing it again returns the overstrike, which is type over mode. Now in insert key mode, the characters one times are inserted at the cursor position. The character at the cursor position and all characters to the right shift to make room for them. Now, uh, in overstrike or overtype mode, newly typed characters overwrite character. Okay. In most application software, insert mode is indicated by a symbol. Okay, basically, this insert key to me is more of the use of Control A and Control C. You understand? For example, now you want to insert something, you want to insert some text on the ones you have in your system. When you get solving TMH now, for example, you use Control F on your material, so you are searching for an answer. So instead of you to be deleting, copying, deleting, when you just use the insert key, you must have copied what you want to search. So the moment you use the insert key on the text that was there on the search column before, you use the insert key to bring the new one on it to automatically take away the previous one and bring the new ones you want to insert, and you can search. That is more of what the insert key does. We have the delete key. I believe that is way that's straightforward enough, self-explanatory enough. Delete characters, but you have to place your cursor on it. So we have the backspace key, also serve as deleting characters as well. We have the space bar, longest key. That's one thing That's how you get to know the space bar. That's the longest key on your keyboard. Now it erase characters at the cursor key position, give blank space when press blank space, and sometimes it erases characters. So we have the tab key. The tab key move the cursor by 5 space. Okay, I think I'm going to show us this quickly. The tab key. So this is the tab key, as you can see here. This is the tab key. Instead of you to use space, if you use space, the distance is just in bits. But if you use tab key, if for example if you use space and it gives you like 2 inches distant on your screen, if you use tab will give you like 8 inches distant on your screen. I think I should on this one. So yeah, this is the tab key. So this is the space bar key. So we have that as that. So I think we can continue. So keeping your keyboard clean and working, I think that is very necessary. Excuse me. It says here, never spill liquid on your keyboard. Coffee, soda, and other beverage spill can ruin your keyboard. Affirmative. I mean, basically, it's an electronic device, and electronic devices are what they are worst of. They are enemies. Liquid spill on your keyboard have even even been known to cause electrical damage to your PC itself. So we have as you are always you are to ensure to keep your keyboard clean, and dust off the dirt. So we have we were talking about the keyboard. Now we have the mouse and the joystick. The mouse and the joystick is there as well input devices. Now, as you can see, I have my mouse here. We have this is the cabled mouse, and we have some evoked mouse now whereby you don't they don't use cable, they are wireless. So it's an input device. It's what I'm using now to go through to scroll on my screen. And we have A mouse looks like an electrical clipper in a barbing salon. It consists of a pointing device, very sensitive to movements. Yeah, it's very sensitive to movements. It has a roller ball. This is the roller ball. As you can see, this is the roller ball. So as I'm doing that, it's moving the page up and down. Okay, a roller ball and two or more buttons. This is just a basic mouse. There are some mouse that has button even on this side. There are some that even have button even on this side. There are some mouse that has, I think those are gaming mouse. They have button here, they have button here. That's why it says here the material two or more buttons, but this one basically has just two. This this is the right push, this is the right click, the right click, right pad and left pad. And we are using the right if you right click on the interface, it will give you a different function. If you left click, it will give you a different function. So we have that. So we have okay, a roller ball or two or more button which can be pressed to make selection. By moving the mouse on a flat surface, so it is necessary you put your mouse on a flat surface. I have it here. This is a surface where my mouse is. It's for the mouse to function, it has to be okay. This is a book by Enoch Adejare. This is not the book I'm reading. I think we can see that. Yeah. So this is one of the book. I love what God is in to do. Pastor E. Adeboye. So this is the book I'm using. It has to be on a very flat surface so it can work effectively. So we have that as that, and clicking on one or combination of the two buttons on upper surface, a computer to watch. Okay, we have that as that. So we have mouse can be used to draw diagrams on computer screen, like in one of my tutorials. That was MCH 105 when I did in those days. It was my mouse I was using to solve on the screen, draw things on the screen. So we have screen more effectively and efficiently than the computer keyboard. Generally, the keyboard and the mouse do um, um, do complement each other definitely. For example, now like this Control C and Control A that I spoke of earlier. Most time, if I don't want to use my keyboard to do that, I can use my mouse. I just take the cursor and over it on the text. I can give us an example. Let me just show us a quick example of that. If I don't want to use my mouse now, like if I don't want to use my Control A and Control C, so this is my cursor. I believe you can all see this thing that is moving around. So if I want to do Control A and Control C, then I can just over this. As you can see now, it's showing a blue diagram. Then I'll do the right click. The right click will make me copy. As you can see now, it's showing copy. I think I should increase the backlight a bit. Yep. So I think that's better. So now this is my cursor. My cursor is moving. As you can see, this is my cursor. So I just want to copy. I don't want to use my Control A or Control C. Just trying to explain when it says the mouse and the keyboard complement each other. So this what I'm trying to do now, I can actually do it on my keyboard without using the mouse. So in some cases whereby I don't use my keyboard and I just want to use my mouse, I'll just take my cursor. Now, as you can see, the line blinking here, I use my cursor to bring it. So we just now control, and the control key is different from the cursor. Now as you can see, this is the cursor and it's one telling me where I am. It's blinking, so I just copy this. You can see that it has been highlighted. Then I'll do the right click on the mouse. As you can see, it copy. When I copy this, if I click the right click again, as you can see, if I want to paste it, for example, let me use my Control F. Okay, I think let me just take that away quickly. So let me use my Control F. My Control F now brings, Control F simply means search. So as you can see, what I have copied here, I just paste. As you can see now, it has pasted it here. That's my diagrams. And basically, this is how many TMAs are being solved. When you come to your material, you pick keywords from the questions. You just come, do your right click, you copy, as you can see, then you come here and you paste, and then you search. When you search, you see it brings things like this, and automatically highlight it. Then you come here again, automatically highlight it. So that's how it works. So um the mouse and the keypad complements, beg your pardon, complement each other. I believe that's well understood. Okay, Miss Justina, is it Perky? I believe my screen was showing because I was backing. Using my front camera, and it was I couldn't see from my phone screen. What I just explained, I hope we all understand. I'd like to get a response so we can know we are all on the same page. So okay, Perky, I hope you understand what I just recently explained. I hope you do understand what I just recently explained. So and was my screen showing well? All the things I was showing, all the things I was trying to show, was it showing properly? Okay, while I wait for your response, Perky, I'm just going to continue then. So we have conclusion. Now, apart from operating system, we need program translators. Okay, no, I think this has taken me somewhere else. Okay, no, yeah. So we are still on the now. A mouse can be used to, okay, I think we said something about a mouse is the primary input device for modern computers that feature operating system with a graphical user interface such as Windows 98. Now just take those down. A mouse is the primary input device of modern computers. We have that as that. Now, speaking about the joystick is kind of kind of a mouse and joystick. It's just a mouse is a bit advanced than joystick because basically joystick is kind of limited. Joystick are almost exclusively used with the game software and help the user more effectively control the action, computer simulated airplanes or arcade system games. So joystick is more goes very basically well with. Okay, very well. She understand. Awesome. So joystick basically go well with gaming and arcade style games. So joystick is basically good for games. Now, all modern PC operating system rely now types of operating systems. Now we have Windows 98, Windows XP, we have Macintosh. You have rely on screen pointer to select and execute commands. Now, a mouse is simply an input device built to help the user control this on screen pointer in as natural, efficient a manner as possible. Basically, you have to, the display on the screen, you need the mouse to help you navigate. In programming, I think it's called, is it whiteboard or something? You don't need mouse when you're writing code. You don't need mouse. Basically, mouse is just help you navigate. There's one thing we call it in programming. You just have to write your codes. There are no mouse to navigate through. Now, okay, we have that as that. So now let's talk about the output device. And that ends our discussion on the input device. Now we're talking about the output devices. Now we have the first, the printer. Now, a printer is the computer component that lets you create copies of the information in your computer. Printer helps you to make a hard copy of the soft copy you have in your device. Like the material we're using now is actually soft because it's a soft copy because it's in the system. So if you want the computer to bring it out, then it has to go through the printer. You can have this same thing on your system. You can have it written down in a book. So we have the printer material is often called hard copy to differentiate it from the data stored on a disk and help computer memory. Now there are three basic types of printer available for use with personal computers. personal computers in the sense PC. We have the laser printer, we have the inkjet printer, and we have, okay, I think that's okay, let's just take it one step at a time. There are three types of printers. We have the laser printers. Now, this combination of magnetic roller which pad ink called toner to transfer high quality character or images into page. That's for the laser printers, which it uses magnetic roller and is powered with ink called the toner. I think that was the most common printer. We have the inkjet printers. Now these have small nozzles that actually spray fast dry ink onto the page to form characters or images. Now inkjet printers spray a fine quick dry ink through small nozzles to produce characters and images on paper. The use of a printer to now okay, now we have this use a print head to strike an ink ribbon against paper like a typewriter, creating character out of series of dots. Now, dot. Okay, now we said something like we have three types of printers. We have the laser printers, we have the inkjet printers, and the third one is called the dot matrix printers. Now we said the laser jet uses ink called the toner. Now the inkjet uses small nozzles and spray fast dry ink. Now the dot max printers are the cheapest printers available. They create text and images on the page by hammering several pins against the ink ribbon. So that is that for that. So we have that's that for that. So we have that for the printers. So for the monitors now, monitor now is also an external part of the computer. We have the output device. I beg your pardon. Now the monitor does not do any processing itself. The monitor only displays the information that the video card tells it to do. That's what the monitor does, just like the screen of your computer, the screen of your PC. It's only just to display what is going on in the computer. It helps you to see. It helps to me. It helps you to see what your computer thinks. It helps you to see what your computer thinks, what is going on in your computer. That is the monitor. So we have the monitor sizes. We have the two most common monitor sizes are 15-inch and 17-inch. Now, if you have an older and mid-down PC or a very expensive startup PC, you may have a smarter 14-inch monitor. Now, 21-inch monitor are also available, but mostly used by graphic prefer now. That's that. So we have the VGA and the SVGA monitors. Now, these are the two most common acronyms you will see in the current monitors, and they are VGA and SVGA. Now, both are these terms generally referred to many times called dot or pixel. And each direction, the monitor can display VGA 640 by 480 wide and height. SVGA is 800 by 600. Now, this measurement is called monitor resolution. Just like the other day, some persons were complaining about the image quality of the YouTube that they're not seeing when we were taking them TH105 class that they are not seeing well. I told them just go to your setting and improve your resolution. Exactly. And when you are improving your resolution, definitely it attracts more data. Just like if you want to download a movie which is about 480 resolution, we can't compare to a movie by 720 or 10 or 1080 resolution. So that's how it works. The higher the resolution, the crystal clear the video quality becomes. So we have that. So we have the scanners. Scanners are peripheral devices used to digitalize, convert to electrical format at work, photograph, text, they are just basically used to digitalize artwork, photographs, text, or other items for hard copy. I believe we all know what a scanner is. Just take a file, scan through it, and it's For example, this book I'm holding, if I want this thing, this front page now to get into my computer, what I have to do is to, if I want to digitalize it, I just take it to my scanner, place it on it scans, and before you know it, it displays on the system. So we have that as that. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, it says that a scanner works by dividing an image into microscopic rows and columns. So you can come across the question, what works by dividing image into microscopic rows and columns? What is the answer? The answer is scanner. So we have measuring, microscopic rows and column and measuring. Now we have each reflection is recorded as a dot or picture element pixel. After the scanner collects information from each dot, it compiles. Now this dot of the thing that they are saying, I don't know. For many of us who can relate with this, for example, if you maximize a picture to some extent, like like my system helps me to do that a lot. It's a screenshot. It's a screen touch system. If I maximize it to the fullest, you see that these words that you are saying that they look very sharp, or this picture that you see that are looking very sharp, there's a level you maximize it to, you realize that what actually makes up the image, they are made up of dots, 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 dots. So now that dot, those dots are called pixels. They are called pixels. So that pixle are called pixels. So that's that. Now there are a wide variety of scanner that works in a numeric different ways. Okay. Now we have the types of scanners. So we have the flatbed scanners. Flat, according as the name implies, flat. They are flatbed scanners. They look like or behave like a photocopier. You lay the item to be scanned on a glass plate. Those are the ones we. That's the type of scanner we have in the office. They are flat. You have to you open them, then you lay it, close it, and it scans. Okay. They are very versatile. The flatted, the flatbed scanners are very versatile. Versatile in the sense that you can see them almost everywhere. That people that are the most used. You can scan objects in a variety of size and shapes, including pages of a book, without damaging the original. While flatbed scanners are the best choice for a wide variety of uses, if you plan to do a lot of text scanning called OCR for optical character recognition. Now, OCR simply means optical character recognition. Let's take note of that. I think I remember this question came out in the exam. I think I can I remember this particular question. You write the acronym in full. OCR. So OCR. So I can remember it. Optical scan character recognition. I can remember very well. Now, keep in mind that flat bed only accommodates one page at a time. Scanning multiple page documents can be slow, tedious, and that's one of the defects of one bed flatbed scanner. So we have the sheet fed scanners. Okay, you look more like a fax machine. The page or item is fed into the machine, scanned, then uh, spit out on the other end. Okay, a sheet fed scanner is a good choice for large volume. Now we have, just like what we agreed now, that the flatbed scanner is not advisable for a voluminous work, but the sheet fed that looks more like a fax machine is advisable for voluminous work. And scanner are low cost alternative for their larger, more sophisticated counterparts. As the name implies, hand scanners are manual devices you move over a flat surface just as to do your PC mouse. Now, hand scanner have many advantages, but also disadvantages. Just like it can do a lot. Basically, it can do a lot. It can do a lot basically. So we have speakers and sound. Basically those are self-explanatory. Okay, everyone has it. Okay, you have computer for sounds on your PC. Now, to produce sound on your PC, you need sound card and speakers. What do you need to produce? If you want to produce sound on your computer, what do you need? You need the scan, you need the sound card and speakers. Sound card is an expansion card that plugs into one of the slots of your motherboard. Okay, sound card. This card processes all the instructions that have to do with sound, and this sends the sound to the speaker. Sound card is just basically like CD, like a disc or something. You have your music already in there. When you put it inside, your computer puts it inside, your speaker brings them out. So we have that as that. So we have the conclusion. The system units cannot function without the peripheral devices. The input and output units are very important peripheral devices that must be taken care of in setting up a computer system. So we've been able to learn input units, what input units comprises of, and we'll be able to talk about the keyboard, the scanner, and the output devices like the monitor, the printer, and the speaker. So that ends the first batch of tonight's class. So now we are heading straight into the second batch of tonight's class, which is study unit 3, page 75. We need to move on a very fast pace, because after this class, I want us to go for, I think that's GST 105, Philosophy of Science. It's a very interesting course. This is one of the courses I love so much because you get to know a lot of reality about things you don't even know, how the earth is, how it works, how things, I mean, you get to know, it introduces you to science, the study of the world entirely and the things that exist in it. So it's a very interesting because I want us to go straight for as much as I don't. And we don't have much time because the exam is around the corner. In a few months now, you'll be preparing to write your exams. So we need to move at a very fast pace. So now we have the auxiliary equipment. And under the auxiliary equipment, we have air conditioner, we have the voltage, excuse me, we have the voltage stabilizer, and we have the UPS. Many of us we just call like this comedy street something. It's called street something. We go around asking people something that we call that we are very acquainted with. Like they will just come to you and ask you what is the full meaning of ATM. Like everybody knows what ATM is now, but what is the full meaning? You gotta tell us. People will be like, I never thought of this. So, like this word UPS now, many of us know. You know what UPS? Yeah, yeah. I know. Just like in that show, many like 90% of people does not even know what the full meaning of um what ATM is. Automated teller machine. Many of them fail the question. So now here we have the opportunity to know what UPS is. It might not really there's some information that you know that does not really bring money to you or really but it's just good for knowledge sake. So we have the UPS now. Basically, according to what the UPS does, when there's interruption in supply of energy, UPS must as charged just more of like, just like inverter, but inverter stays longer than UPS. UPS is actually temporary. The lifespan of VPN is actually very limited. So when there's an interruption in supply of energy, instead of everything you are doing to shut down immediately, because of VPNs must have collected energy while there was energy. You understand? While the supply of energy was constant, it must have collected some energy and stored it. So the moment it's been interrupted, so the few capacity it has collected will be used. You begin to dispense the energy. I think max maybe 10 or 15 minutes, then it goes off. So within that time, you can quickly save or switch off things. And so it is called in full uninterrupted power supply system. That's what this UPS means. Uninterrupted power supply system. You can take that down. Now, introduction. Auxiliary equipment, as their name suggests, are not computers but are necessary in computing environments in order to ensure proper functioning and smooth running of computer activities. Now, it is about, I believe you get that they are not actually computing. They are not actually computers, but they are very essential for proper functioning and smooth um, running of the computer activities. So we have objective one. We'll be able to, by the end of this class, we must have been able to identify the auxiliary equipment in our computer environment and discuss the importance of auxiliary equipment for smooth running of computer centers. So we have the air conditioner. Now it's called, in short, it's called AC. Now, a computer is an electronic device. Now, it is therefore capable of generating heat. Definitely, just like my system. You can't you can't even try and place it. So it's actually, it's metal. I believe you can hear that sound. You can't even place it directly on your leg. In less than a few minutes, your leg will start to burn because cats can get hot very well. Although it has internal fan, but even at that, it still requires cooling. So as an electronic machine, definitely it generates capable of generating heat. Now a computer is manufactured to operate in an environment with a specific temperature range. When the temperature of the environment in which a computer is kept fall outside the specific range, the computer may function badly and consequently get damaged. So there's a required temperature for the room where you are using your computer, and if it falls if the temperature of the room falls below the required temperature, then it will definitely affect the productivity of your computer. Now, dust is metallic in nature. So if you come across dash is metallic in nature, you know what that is already. Dust. As such, capable of conducting electricity. Wow. If dust is allowed to settle on a computer, particularly the electronic circuit, dust can bridge two circuits. Amazing. Hey. So dust is this capable of doing something like this. Let's take this again. Dust is metallic in nature. Dust that we can almost not see with our dust that we can almost not see with our eyes. That they are very small. It's when they settle on things, and before you can realize that this thing is dusty, you know, thousands or not even millions, not even thousands, millions of dust have settled on the surface before you realize that there's dust here. So as almost insignificant as it is, if it's allowed to settle, before you can even realize that dust has settled on the surface, it must have been in millions, because as you see them, they are individuals. They are small, 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 tiny stars that you can almost not see them with your eye. And before you can recognize that this surface is dusty, that means they must have settled in their millions. And that's why when you rub them, when you rub your hand on them, you see the surface on your hand, you can barely feel like they don't have structure like a web. So it's dangerous to your computer. It's metallic in nature, and it can bridge. It can conduct electricity. And if it's allowed to settle on your computer, it can, particularly the electronic circuits, yeah, electronic circuit, in the sense that circuit that electricity or power passes through, it can bridge two or more circuits. Now, the bringing of two electronic circuits, now the bridging of two electronic circuits may cause a serious damage to the computer. Thus air condition are needed in a computer environment, conditioning the temperature and preventing dust. So why is air condition need in a computer environment? Is to condition the temperature and prevent dust. So we have the voltage stabilizer. Basically, stabilizer is just to stabilizer, what we know it as here, is just to regulate energy, to the level at which your computer can use. Now a computer, when switched on, takes off at a cold stage warms up and gradually gets to a hot state. At a hot state, hear the precepts. When you turn on your computer, it gets it take off on a cold state. Now, then it warms up and gradually it gets to a hot state. At the hot state, a computer is always roaming in an attempt to find something to do. In a situation where the public electricity such as PHCN in Abuja here is referred to as AEDC, suddenly in Nigeria is called suddenly. There is a sudden interruption in energy supply, the computer would suddenly be brought to an halt. Pam! It will be cut short. The sudden power cut may cause the computer to lose the memory of some basic housekeeping operations. Let's not forget in our previous class, we said something about housekeeping, arranging your files and documents in a well organized manner, whereby you can always reach out to them whenever you need them. Now, when this happens, when the computer is brought to an halt, you know, your computer may lose memory of some basic housekeeping operations. When power eventually returns, the computer is switched on. Sudden power cut you know, may also cause irreplaceable damage to the file the computer was processing at the time. Thank God for Microsoft Word. If you are typing like mine, I'm using Windows 11, it automatically saves. As you are typing, it's automatically saving it. So even though lights go off, although my system doesn't shut down that way, I think the battery lasts up to 2 hours or maybe less. It all depends on what I'm using it for. So excuse me. So for example, for as many computers does not have backup, if there's an interruption in power supply and the computer switched off just like that, it is not good. It definitely damage. If it continues that way, it will damage some. It will cause the computer some terminal issues. So we have that at that. So the voltage stabilizer now helps to stabilize energy. Sudden power cut. Okay. So that's that. So we have the line voltage transformer. We know that computers are built to operate within a specific range of voltage. Now, in the United States of America, computers are built to operate on 110 voltage. Now, a voltage transformer is a device meant to step up, or step down a voltage as the case may be. In Nigeria, for example, a 110 voltage computer requires a voltage transformer to step down the 240 voltage to 110 voltage. Now, for example, you have a computer that the programmers or the manufacturer of this computer has given instructions or manual guide or user manual guide that the voltage that this computer can operate on is 110. And you bought this computer, you brought it to your house. Unfortunately, you have not read the guide or you have not been advised to please read the guide, or probably when you get it, you have not been properly briefed that this is the voltage at which this system can work. If you then plug that system directly to your extension and your circuit system at home is doing 240 voltage, that system will crash. And basically is mostly with Nigerians. Basically, things we have here don't really have issues like that. It's basically when you are buying things from abroad. Yes, when you're buying things from abroad, the way they used to design what they do there is actually they used to observe all these things a lot. Like when this my stem, because I heard this my stem was done by Alibaba. So I took my time to read the instructions. Like I can't just connect my stem to the light directly. It has to be on a UPS. It has to be connected to the UPS because it helps me regulate energy, number one. And even the UPS, the stabilizer I use to the UPS also regulates light. So that's how it works. So I think I've seen similar cases like that. Whereby you got something from abroad, you come and use it here in Nigeria, it crashes because of this issue of voltage transformers. So we have that. Yeah, I think we are good. So we have the uninterrupted power supply, that's the UPS. So and uninterrupted power supply, which is the UPS, is an auxiliary hardware that can that is that is capable of converting the public electricity into raw line into file line that is conducting the voltage that is fed into the computer, storing electrical energy, you know, storing electrical energies when the public electricity line is live. Just as I've explained, it takes energy from the power supply and stores it. So as soon as there's an interruption with the power supply, the one it has its reservoir on its storage, then it begins to run on that. And although that doesn't take so long to get exhausted. So we have storing electrical energy when public electricity line is live, releasing the stored electrical energy to the computer when the public electricity line is dead. So that's just basic three things. The first thing is I convert public electricity raw line into file line. UPS convert those three things. It converts public electricity raw line into file line. Two, storing electrical energy when public electricity line is live. It stores electrical energy when the public electricity line is live. And thirdly, it releases the energy it has stored when the public electricity line is dead. Those are just the three things that sums up the uninterrupted power supply. So we are heading towards the ending of this class, which is the conclusion. We have the computer is an expensive resource and as such requires adequate protection from electrical damage. Similarly, the uninterrupted power supply system, uninterrupted power supply system is an expensive resource. So hence there is a need for it to be protected from electrical damage too. Therefore, in practice, it is desirable that the UPS is protected by voltage stabilizer. So now it's advisable for you to get your UPS, get your voltage stabilizer, and get your room air conditioner, or let it be a fan, a nearby fan to regulate the the temperature of the room. So we have that as that. Um, the configuration presented in figure is an example of computer environmental characterized by the multiple levels protection from electrical damage. Now, the arrangement is desirable in the situation of electrical surge and blot-out. So, summary, we have auxiliary devices create a facilitative and conducive environment for smooth operation. That's just the bottom line of auxiliary devices. They facilitate and conducive environment, they create conducive environment for smooth operations of computers and the users. So we have the voltage stabilizer help to protect computing environment from damage due to power surge. Protect your computer from all of this. Now the uninterrupted power supply system protects. Please let's not make mistakes. If this UPS comes out in the exam, don't just write uninterrupted power supply. No, although the word says UPS and the acronym says UPS, but the full word says uninterrupted power supply system. Don't forget the second S. And I will ask us whether after our exam if this question comes out in the exam. So we have the UPS with the help of its internal battery stores electrical energy while power is on and releases power stored to the computer whenever power is off. This enables releases this enables the user to end the working session and shut down normally. A voltage transformer is a device meant to step up or step down a voltage as the case may be. So the voltage transformer now really helps, when you have low current, it helps to regulate the light, and when you have high current, it helps to step it down. And when you have a low current, when you have a high current, it helps to step it down, so you don't have electrical damage. And when it's low, it helps to bring it up. So we have because even both low current can destroy your computer, and both high current can destroy and also high current can destroy your computer. So it has to be, there has to be a strike of balance. You have to strike a balance now. So we have that's that for that. So guys, thank you very much. This brings us to the end of tonight's class. So in our next class, it's going to be a length as well, and I think it's better this way if you just take it at a stretch. So we'll be gunning for, I think we've done the software and the language translators. So we'll be talking about unit 4. So, okay, I think we've done language translators. So the next thing we'll be going for in our next class will be, okay, don't word spread. We've done all of this. So we'll be heading towards module 3, computer programming, where we have the computer programming languages, basic principle of computer programming. We have the flow chart, we have the algorithm. So that will basically be what we'll be treating on our next class. So thank you very much, guys. This covers for both classes tonight. I hope this has been very, very helpful. I can tell how challenging this is, but it's something we just have to go through. We have signed the form, we've put our hands have been placed on the plow, so we can't look back. It's not easy for me myself, and I understand it's not easy for you too to be on this live stream after the stress and everything. You have to manage everything. It's very demanding. I think I posted something on my status that fear national university students because what they went through can send you to hell. It's definitely not easy. And believe me, it's not easy. First year, you have your first semester, you have second semester, second, you go second, you go third, you go fourth. You have 8 semesters for 4 years. Believe me, it's not easy. You have to read, you have to prepare, whether it's raining or not, whether it's sunny, whether it's snowing, it doesn't affect the system. You just have to get your game together and prepare. Many of us are not single like me. That is just me. That's why I can have this class. I can have like 3 classes. Okay, like today now I have just 2 classes. The class with the person I take that's post admin second semester. I have a class with her already. And here I am again having this class again. And just before I had that class since about because I slept very late yesterday. I got home like past 1 and I didn't sleep until after 3 in the morning. And I was awake already. I was awake already by past 6. Because one thing about me is that I just can't have work to do. Like I know I have TMs that I'm yet to finish solving and I'm sleeping. I can't be comfortable sleeping. And just about yesterday, I got invitation from some persons that they want to write their business plan, that they need assistance. About 2 of them, I had to take that's another new assignment from that I'm also taking. So as soon as I'm done with TME between today and tomorrow, I'm starting their business plan. And I still have work in it. Like tomorrow now, I'm going to work and I'm going to be at work as early as 9, and I'll leave work as late as 11, 12. So all these things, I can do all these things because I'm used to the system. Like it's been since 100 level. I mean, this is my 400 level, second semester. So it's all good. So I'm just trying to encourage us so that we don't get weary, don't get tired, because definitely at the point you get exhausted. But it's those that get to the end that wins the crown. So thank you very much, guys. This brings us to the end of tonight's class. I look forward to seeing us in subsequent classes. Bye bye.